now a duchess, Melissa Bavent, has risen throughout the night. And while in the last episode she lost territory, she also gained a great swath of it, consolidating power in the Mediterranean and gaining herself a new rival or two. As ever, the danger on our doorstep, Lord Montano of the Sea of Shadows, plots and plans. But so too do we. As I speak, Missy is attempting to use her wiles to win over Bishop Alfonso of Venice, the Scourge, aka the spy master of Lord Montano. If we can gain his favor, then perhaps we'll have another way to strike out at the Lord of Shadows. And then sometimes old enemies come out of the woodwork. Count Landulf, whose lands we seized in Sicily, now considers Missy a rival. We'll just add you to the pile, eh? As even within her own council, one of these faces here plots the downfall of our dear Duchess. And oh, what a surprise. First of all, kia ora, Legionnaires. Rycon here, and welcome back to Crusader Kings 3, Princes of Darkness, where Count Akos, the Breaker of Wolves, who was once a part of our coterie, has very generously sent a lavishly decorated box filled with gold to Missy. However, as she runs her hand through the coins, she feels the room starting to spin and she grows short of breath. How unexpected, what a curious effect. Not feeling well for 7 years, a severe health penalty. However, to a kindred, is that really going to mean all that much? We get 20 gold out of it. Wow, what a curious effect. So, the Count is trying to plot our downfall, our demise, after we so graciously gave him territory. And yes, he does, for the most part, think pretty well of us. But then again, he's also like, you're kind of a tyrant, you're also a caitiff, and we're rivals. I was really hoping that we were going to be able to be friends long term, but you're trying to kill us, and I don't know how we feel about that. Well, for one, we're not feeling all that bad. Our health is good. Our blood potency and the other effects there are going to keep us feeling totally fine. And while that may kill a mortal, it's certainly not going to kill a kindred. So do we take it as a proper threat then? Do we take it as a attempt on Missy's life? Maybe not. Maybe it is meant to be something there that's meant to weaken her somewhat. But I think we can very easily figure out if there is something going on here. We're going to send our dear daughter here, our Scourge, to go and find some secrets, and we'll start searching for those secrets down here. And if Akos has got them, we will find them. Oh yes, and speaking of our dear daughter here, we could very well attempt to secure a decent alliance. But in the same breath, perhaps rather than an alliance, we may be able to get an incredibly strong warrior. So we're looking, exposed. Bishop Alfonso of Venice, who is taking quite a liking to us, welcomes Missy with a mischievous smile. His eager hands immediately get to work on buttons and laces. Within a few heartbeats, I stand naked, shivering before him. But when I attempt to return the favor, Alfonso of Venice pushes me away and screams, "Guards, there's an intruder in my chambers. Guards!" Bare as a newborn babe, I bolt across the room and crawl out of the window. The cold-hearted bastard will pay. Well, damn it. We had a 95% chance of success here, and somehow, it fell apart. Well, that is truly unfortunate. But before anything else goes wrong, yes, Shajar here. Let's try and see if we can find you a decent match. So we're not going to be going for Alliance power this time. We're instead going to be going for prowess. And I've already had a look at these characters here. Koban, it's saying he has a prowess of 67. He doesn't really. If we have a look at his prowess, he's currently in a duel. And I think that's why, yeah, he has a plus 30 to his prowess. So he's pretty good in general, but not that good. Who I have had my eye on is the Rock Lord here. Why he might be a good match for us is that he's unlanded, so he will come to our court. He has 33 prowess. effectively the highest that we can find right now. And as you might be able to tell, he's a gargoyle. So, not a traditional vampire, but created by a vampire. The gargoyles were created by the Tremere as shock troops against the Tzimisce. That was a bit of a tongue twister for me to get out. And we do have a few of them as enemies, so you might be a good fit. You do actually have a Childer as well, who we could try to get to join us in time. I think that you could be quite a good match. Crack in the pyramid. Such a small crack can't threaten the mighty Tremere pyramid, right? Oh, so yes, of course, you've broken free of them. You've got flight, potence, fortitude, and you're considered to be 9th generation, and you're the head of your own house. Let's see if you will accept this here. It seems like yes, you will. +5 to acceptance. All right, let's send the proposal and see what comes of it. In the meantime, we're securing power elsewhere, and oh yes, the Rock. The Rock is here. And I would hope, yeah, you're going to be a champion. And you know what? You're not just going to be a champion. I think I'd like to try and take you on as a personal champion. I was concerned about Akos being our champion, but it's actually bodyguards that can assist in murder schemes. So even if you didn't like us, I think you'll be fine as a personal champion. Apparently you're going to be poor compared to Pecs here. Pecs, what's your skill at? 24 at the moment. I think we're still going to stick with the Rock Lord here if we can. We will appoint you as our personal champion, and I think we will try and get a few of these other roles sorted. So our court seer, it seems like Sir here would be average at it. All right, yeah, you got the job. Congratulations. Touchstones, we're probably not going to bother with just yet. And we don't have too many artifacts, so we're not going to worry about Antiquarian. A Seneschal, though, is an important role. It is going to cost us a fair bit of gold, and it looks like the Rock Lord here could very well be a good fit. Sure, there we go. That'll help improve our control growth just overall, and you are starting to like us that little bit more. Yes, we'll leave those other positions alone for the time being. We're going to get time rolling by, and you might be able to see down here that we're hunting a new person. We're hunting Eleanor. We're still trying to track down some good choleric blood. And once we've got enough gold, we are going to be trying, as best we can, to organize a hunt. And I think that's the last of our champions here. Not great, really. Eleanor was one of those champions that we're trying to currently hunt so that we can maybe herdify. We can't even recruit you to the court. 50 gold for 13 and you're immortal. We'll just, we'll ignore you for now. And here is Eleanor. So what's it going to be? Choleric. It's a fleeting resonance, but it's still something. So let's just take a sip for the moment. But I'm glad that we've finally found some choleric blood. I think the callousness here and perhaps the greed plays into that. Yeah, so we'll keep an eye out for those kind of personality traits in the future, but we are going to try and herdify you now. Oh, and because of that, I suppose we could try and see if we can hunt you. Is that the same effect? No, I think it's separate. Hey, there we go. Gluttony, impatient, ambitious though? Might be choleric. I'm not really wanting to get rid of any of our other herd though, because looking at them here, we have an acute sanguine resonance, we've got an intense melancholic resonance, and an acute phlegmatic resonance down here. Oh, and that's some very, very good news. Well, that not so much. You haven't found any secrets? If there's anything, we shall find it? No, keep on looking. I want you to keep on looking for now. But a faction to install Glam on the throne? Well, that's disbanded. I do wonder if it's because Glam is starting to like us a little bit more. 63, there you go, the kid's getting on board. Well, very good news on two fronts. We are now the prince of a large town over here in Reggio Calabria, and Pecs has finished converting the faith in Tripoli. And so I think we're going to pop over here to Calabria and we'll start getting him to do some work there. We will probably want him to start fabricating some claims elsewhere, but for the moment we are going to be focusing in and around this region. I really, really want to get Syracuse under our control. And let's see how you taste. Sanguine? I mean, we'll take a sip and then we'll let you go. You'll be fine. And we've got yet another perk for Sanguine. We really need to figure some stuff out here. And hey, look at that. We did get a little bit of knowledge. We learnt of your lover It's not Akos, so that doesn't really help us at all. And you're immortal, so we're not going to really want to blackmail you. You know, if Akos is trying to actively murder us, it might be better to just try and disrupt schemes for now, because then we have a better chance of actually catching him out. He's really starting to like us, though. Oh yes, and I was also saying we've got another point in Sanguine, so if we could pick up presents, I would be super happy to do that. Yet for us to get any kind of training, I think that's going to take quite a lot. It's 500 prestige for us to be able to try and learn it, to try and find a teacher. We could just diablerize another kindred that has that ability, and then we might be able to learn it that way. Burying the hatchet, here we go. Our childer, Duchess Melissa. We have had our differences in the past, but don't you agree it's time to let bygones be bygones? My childer and heir, Count de Larme, gestures from me to him. Whatever is between us, let us start anew. Let's stop being rivals. Fantastic. Okay, that's one rival down. And now he thinks the world of us, as you should. So one potential route to all that prestige is going to be through hunting. We did have a boar sighting here kind of recently, and I don't know how long that's going to hang around for. But because we're a duchy now, it's going to cost us that much more to actually go on a hunt. It's quite an investment, but it does give us a lot of prestige. Another sheep joins my herd. Welcome, Eleanor. And that also does mean that we get you to be a champion. 10 prowess is okay. Even if we were to try and ghoulify you, it's not going to make much of a difference. Oh, and the reason why we don't just ghoul everyone is because there are a limit to the amount of ghouls that we can have overall. So we do want to be a little picky. Oh, what's this now? Proposing an alliance. Oh, no, definitely not. And the reason I say this is I was just looking at invading you. So capua over here and here. I just had my eye on your territory, which is probably why you are wanting to become our ally. No, that's not going to happen. And in actual fact, I think we might be able to secure an alliance down here with our child. Oh, I see. Murder Preventer, the timely artifact. Francesca comes out of the darkness, blade in hand. I glance around desperately looking for something to use as a weapon. Before my eyes, I land on the nearby harefoot that Missy has been holding onto. Seizing it, I use it to first block the incoming knife thrust before bringing it down on Francesca's skull again and again. Eventually, I fall back exhausted, dropping the harefoot where it lies covered in blood and gore. Okay, so we just murdered her. Francesca, why were you trying to murder us? You were a peasant leader at some point. You were trying to overthrow us, I think. Well, the harefoot got a little damaged. That's all right. You were never going to win with 4 prowess. But good attempt, I say. Good attempt. Ah, yes, negotiate alliance. Let's go and set that up now. Excellent. Marvelous news. And is that you are our grandchild? You are. Okay. Well, I was going to say we have unlocked something under here. If we have a look at 5 more, we can recommend embrace. So we can say, hey, I think you should embrace this person, turn them into a kindred. Generally, I think sorting by prowess is probably going to be a good idea. Matilda, our caravan master, I think could be a good candidate for the embrace. 16 prowess ain't bad. She's 54, she's getting along, but she's sadistic, chaste, a little paranoid. But that strength, that's pretty good. And she is also in our herd. I do think that she might move away, possibly here. Let's see. Oh, no, that costs a lot. And she'll also be 14th generation, so that's quite far down the tree. But it's good to know that that's an ability that we have. Oh, Sins of the Father. A loud scream cuts through the bustle of my courtyard. Hated Doxy. I am the child of Lord Montalo, and the time has come for you to answer for your vile misdeeds. Face me, or the world will know that you are unwilling to defend your own honor. As I turn around, I'm met by the burning eyes of a man consumed by the desire to defend the honor of his father. My guards are nearby, and if I wish, I could have this hothead thrown out, humiliated, and impotent. Oh boy, the King of Rome? Duke Claudius Eugenio. 23 prowess, not bad. You are the childer. of Lord Montano. Well, you're 5th generation as well. Whew. Okay. I accept the challenge. This duel may lead to death. Oh, here we go, Missy. This is what it's all about. We will deal Claudius to teach him his place. Let's see where this leads to. Duke Claudius and I stalk around each other, each weighing our options. He hefts a fearsome sword, while I bare my fangs. The deadly weapon feels cool and weighty in my grasp. The fangs do? Yeah, of course they do. This fight may be only until first blood, but that doesn't ease my nerves. So, the fastest blade gives us more prestige, which is great. It's a blade dance, a series of flashy, expert moves. Let's start off with that. In battle, I am an artist. Every strike is a brushstroke. Every fallen foe or gout of blood, a splash of paint. As I bare my fangs, switching seamlessly between flourish and strike, I paint a picture of agony across my foe. And my foe issues an order, compelling me to hurt myself. He's trying to use the blood against us. My form is good only with small areas, and Claudius' stance is formidable. Right, okay, so what direction do we want to go next? The blood shall flow, scum. We lose some stress because we're impatient and wrathful. There's a very high risk of injury, however. How about some dirt in your eyes? No likelihood of success. Obey me. Make a simple command to gain an advantage against Claudius. Medium likelihood of success and no risk of injury. You know what? I think we're going to tell him to obey us. I issue a quick order to my opponent. We see in shadow, scum, screams my opponent, whirling his sword furiously at, around, and near me. My form is excellent, with little chance of mistake, and Claudius' stance is passable. My opponent is still holding off my blows well, but he seems to be faltering. Foolish leech, can't you do any better? We can taunt him, compel him to obey us again. It seems like the best option here will be going in with our fangs. Let's go for it. I lunge forwards, trying to sink my sharpened fangs into the inviting neck in front of me. Claudius tries, hesitantly, to launch a thrusting jab at me, but the blow is easily swapped aside. My form is excellent, and his stance is a disaster. We can compel him. Yet again, a very high chance of success, but also a very high chance of injury. Heavy attacks against his vitals. Which way do we want to go here? Because this is a high chance of success and no chance of injury. I think we have to be a bit bold. We lose some stress because we're impatient and brave. I think this is the right option. And there we go. It was. Putting a boot in low, but it works. My foe issues a quick order while using Dominate, but seemingly it doesn't work, and this catches Missy's foe off guard, and they're soon recovering from a blow struck while they were distracted. I am victorious. Well, that gives us experience towards our blade mastery, which is great. And we gain some prestige. We send him on his way. We send him packing. And I do wonder if he had us against the ropes, if he would have just tried to slay us then and there. Oh, okay. We've defeated a child of Montano. Now, there's just Montano himself to face. Oh, would you look at that? 500 prestige. I do believe that was exactly what we needed to learn a new discipline, so we didn't even need to go on the hunt, but it's going to be all of our prestige. That means no wars until we go hunting. Right. Planning speed is going to be slow here, but learning presence, is that what we want to do here? Do we want to go the presence route, or we could go... Well, actually, no. Blood sorcery is considered to be a rare one, and that's 1,000. That's not going to be happening, unfortunately. And Daimonium? I don't think we can learn that easily either. No, so presence seems to be the best choice for us right now. So when the planning phase is done, we will learn the location of a teacher who knows presence. After traveling there, we can acquire the discipline, which allows us to start to unlock some perks in there. And we've already got 3 ready to go. Swaying hearts and minds. Let's start the process. Oh, and it's gonna take a while. 7 years and 6 months. That does sound like a long time. It's going to go quickly. In the meantime, though, we are going to work to get back some of that prestige. And we're going to do that by going on a hunt. It is going to take us a little while longer before we can get that. And a loathsome rival. What do you got for us? In the middle of an engaging discussion about troop compositions, I see Lord Montano across the room, frowning. As usual, our eyes meet. He frowns and looks away quickly. As big a cur as usual. Ooh, leave me be, Montano. So this must be at yet another Elysium where we have seen him. Ever our rival. Oh, and thank you very much. Time to right this wrong. Let's increase those feudal taxes, eh? Yeah. Oh, well, hello there. Another Inquisition cell. And what's interesting here is our masquerade exposure is looking pretty good, all things considered. Alright, well, unfortunately we are going to be losing a bit of control all over, but we will crush these mortals in battle, rally the troops, and, well, they really didn't muster much, did they? No. I think this is going to be a very, very quick fight. Here we go, Missy. No mercy. They don't even have a leader here with them. And just like that, it's over. We'll enforce these demands, and we imprison the leader. Now, having a look at you with your 16 prowess, we've been down this road before. Ghoulifying hunters isn't always the best idea because, well, they think very, very lowly of us. Oh, and interestingly enough, we can't actually insanguinate you. Yeah, sanguine him. This character's faith runs through their blood, making it a virulent poison to all things unholy. Well, that is very interesting. I guess we'll just have to... What do we want to do? Beheading or burning at the stake? You know what? Kindred do hate fire, and they usually die by fire, so yeah, it's only right. Right? Yeah. Okay, well, we might not have the gold to do it, but I'm concerned that the boar sighting is going to go away. We are going to launch this hunt. And looking here, yeah, really good chance that we're going to find one. And I do suppose we could look at going on a bit of an interesting route, you know, on the way back. It adds a considerable amount of danger, but I like the look of it. We actually have two free options here, make haste and superior armaments. We'll go for superior armaments. I think that'll just make it a bit safer overall. There's one high chance of danger over here. I'm sure we can handle that, right? Now in total, it's going to cost us 165. I'm okay with that. A reasonable party. I guess if we could bump this up to substantial, it's just, yeah, it's a little too much, unfortunately. We'll just have to go with this. And we are going to be changing the intent over to slay the beast. Let's start planning. And yeah, as you can see, it's quite the route we're going on. We are going from Syracuse here. We have been through the area before. It'll be safe enough. Oh, and a bit of danger on the road. Traveling through the somewhat harsh environment has invigorating effects on at least my state of mind and vigor. As I glance towards Eleanor, however, she does not appear to be doing quite so good. Her movements are labored, her breathing heavy, and spontaneous bursts of coughing ripple through her body. She is certainly not doing well. No, she isn't, and she's a member of our herd. We don't want her to die. We could let her rest and recover fully, delay this by 21 days. Pecs, can you treat her? We got Pecs along for the ride, and he is our main physician, so yes. Pecs, that would be fantastic, thank you. And yet another event. What the duck? The day on the road has been fairly calm and nondescript so far. We are on the outside of Messina, and as I close my eyes, my mount brings me forward, one solid step at a time. As the wind plays a magnificent melody through the treetops, another noise is carried by the breeze, and not far from our entourage is that quacking. I isolate the sound to be coming from shrubbery on my right-hand side. This is silly. We get a duck quack. I guess I could follow it or chase it away. Let's follow the duck for now. Okay. I dismount and locate the duck in the nearby shrubbery. It starts waddling off into the wilderness and I follow by foot. As I stray further and further from my entourage, a chill creeps down my spine. Something is watching me. Suddenly, a wolf shows up at the edge of the underwood. It snorts and looks at me with angry eyes. This is bad or on guard? Okay, there's a strong chance that we don't die here. We've gained some stress for sure. Let's see. Okay, success. We didn't die to the wolf. That's good. There's always, I guess, a 1% chance there. Oh dear, and it seems that we're going in circles now. Haven't we seen that massive tree before? I swear we're going in circles. My caravan master, Shajar, shouts. Perhaps she is right. We've seen no sign of getting out of this forest in hours. Are we even still in Messina? The dense tree cover makes it impossible to tell the time of night or even the direction we are heading. At this rate, we'll never make it to Reggio Calabria. I know exactly where we are, which would give us some danger experience gain. Find someone to be a local guide. I wouldn't be against that. Yeah, let's go for that route. And yes, it does seem like we are going to be able to seek out a boar. It is dangerous, perilous, but the prestige we can get is impressive. So Yeah, that's the option we're going to go for. Oh, hang on. What's this now? Excuse me, your blood has thickened. Blood potency slowly increases as centuries of unlife pass by. You gained blood potency 3. Well, that's handy. I mean, we got to 2 through our diablerie, but we'll take that blood potency 3. Oh, and it seems there are some issues going on here between Akos and Anthony, young Anthony, the Revenant. He made sure to bump his horse, sending Akos tumbling to the ground. That is kind of funny. We are trying to keep him on the ball, though. We'll be a mediator here. Yeah, that's no way for a Baron to act. Let us be reasonable. And it seems we have spotted some sharpened tusks. Afterward, we ride? Yeah, no, of course, we're going straight for it. And, well, foraging peasants have caused the boar to flee. Well, we know how we can get some more dread. And in this instance, even though it's going to give us more stress, we have only just come to this land. We have just enough coin. We'll be generous this one time. Perhaps we should have gone another route, because it seems the hunt has failed. Still, we lose a lot of stress. Our glory hounds are happy, and we do get some prestige out of it at the end of the day. It cost us, but the experience, I'm going to say, is still worth it. And now the rest of the journey shall unfold. We'll see what dangers await us on land and Carthage, dream and nightmare. The Brujah still draw inspiration from legends of the great scholars and philosophers that flourished in Carthage, a culture where kindred and kind were closer to one another than any point before or since. Indeed, some Brujah and a few others remember Carthage as the third city, the spiritual and political heir of the first and second cities. However, other darker tales speak of a degenerate blood cult under none other than Trolle, the antediluvian ancestor of the Brujah, of sacrifices including infant sacrifices to infernal powers, and of collusion between Trolle and the Bali Methuselah, Moloch. The Ventru of Rome were fierce rivals of their Brujah cousins in Carthage. As Moloch drew Trolle into desensitization and degeneration, news of the endemic corruption among Carthaginian Brujah spread to the Roman clans. The Malkavian Ceres Tryphosa gave guidance to the Roman prince Camilla, directing him to act against Carthage, and the Carthaginian Toreador Helena betrayed her city to the Romans. Though the Toreador antediluvian Artemis Orthia, Lysander, and Prince Alcaeus formed an alliance against the Brujah of Carthage under the leadership of the Roman Ventru. The alliance encompassed the Malkavians, Toreador, Los Sombra, and their allies. As the Third Punic War razed Carthage in 146 BCE, the collective forces of the Roman Cainite alliance defeated Carthage's Brujah and Bali masters. In the end, Trolle and Moloch were driven into torpor, entwined in an eternal lover's embrace beneath the salted fields of Carthage, a sleeping nightmare, or I should not delay. Yeah, let's delay a little while and get some learning experience there. Oh, Count Antonio, a rival of ours, has gifted us a plush, vibrant, and soft carpet. Well, that's so kind, so kind. As we can see, that will give us some prestige, but yeah, it's maybe slightly poisoned. We're going to get rid of it. We're just going to sell it, and we're going to be extra vigilant. That sounds like a much better idea. Dangerous interests. Every morning since we reached Susa, my brother Pecs leaves his litter and silently glides away from my sight. Well, I guess this is every evening. This time, I decided to follow his path and find him in a lively chat with the local suffragan bishop, Ingrid. The ceremony begins and the light of candles illuminates Ingrid while shadows play against the walls like autumn leaves. Pecs, I call him after the service. What are you doing? My liege, it has just occurred to me that there may be more than one truth. Oh dear, are you converting? The road of a tip. Well, okay. Broaden our horizons doesn't sound great. Firm convictions for 57 stress. Or there's room for a calm debate here. Looks like he's going to be angry either way. I think we will try to debate, and he is angered by our narrow mind. Well, I mean, we tried to converse, didn't we? A derelict ship on the seas. The sea is calm and forgiving today, still as a boulder and powerful as the wind at our back to boot. It seems it'll be an easy day for the rowers below, but then I spot the mangled corpse of a ship buried nose first into some jagged rocks just ahead. There doesn't appear to be any survivors, and the rocks would be no trivial thing to navigate, and yet I feel compelled to go and investigate this mysterious wreck. Okay. We're brave, I think we've got to try, even if we lose prestige, and we do, that's okay. Not knowing would have been worse. And we've made it back in one piece, becoming more of an adept traveler in the process. Missy, well done. And now that we are back home, we could perhaps look at extending our borders somewhat. Oh, and another event here. While studying the tactics of ancient generals, I was awed to learn about the exploits of Hannibal during the Second Punic War, probably just because, we were thinking about it recently. We can become an aggressive attacker, a logistician, which actually does help with travel safety, a flexible leader. All these things give us stress because we're impatient. I think we're going to have to go with aggressive attacker here because it's going to be just more in character. Oh, and we learnt of Count Akos's secret faith. You're not of our faith? My gosh. Now we could blackmail him with that. I am intrigued as to what the secret faith may be. I think having that as a backup will help us here. We are going to try. If he says that he doesn't care, then, well, he doesn't care, right? But there we go. We have a hook on him now. And he thinks very highly of us because of the hunting and the conquering and everything else. And we can see that our tyranny has been slowly dissipating over time. In general, the council is rather happy with us. Well, that's interesting. We can nominate a successor to the Kingdom of Africa, which means it's been formed, and it has, right near us. Okay, and we can vote for ourselves because we're on the continent. So yeah, let's cast a vote. We're actually second in line currently. Okay, we've got a voting strength of 2, and it's because we're a duchess. Right, you're number 1 at the moment. We could make some moves there. That's not the intended direction. That's not exactly where we want to be going. What we actually want to be doing is maybe setting our sights a little higher. Rome. Yeah, we can go to war with Rome. Whether or not it's a good idea, I mean, they've got some pretty decent levies. That's hefty. They don't have any allies right now, but they do have a truce ongoing. With 62 prowess, you are quite a fighter. And this is Duke Camilla. This is the Camilla that we were hearing about earlier. Camilla of Rome. Yeah, you've been around for a while. Maybe we work our way up towards it. Our friend over here in Capua, we could look at taking some territory from you instead. And now, because we are a duke, we can actually do holy wars for duchies. So we could take this whole region here, or this region up here. Let's have a look at the provinces and just see which might actually be better off for us. I mean, there's not a lot going on here. We would be kind of splitting our territory even further, but that would be a pretty good staging point to try and lash out at Rome. The only thing we have to watch out for when you're doing holy wars for duchies is that if there are any equitium rulers there, they become vassalized by us, but I don't think there is. Yeah, no, I think we're going to be totally fine with that. So having a look at you are actually attacking someone else already. So it's kind of the perfect time for us to try and lash out at you. You got 16 champions, we have 27. That is including all of our allies though. So a holy war for the duchy. It's going to be 200 of our piety to be able to start it. I say, let's get it going. We are going to set a new rally point for our army. We'll get them raising from over here. And I suppose eventually we are going to want to have a look at getting some mangonels, some onagers, just so that we can siege a little bit better. And allies, let's go and get them called to war. Oh, and you're immediately on board. Verpus, thank you. Ever loyal you are. And old Benjamin is a part of it too. Good. Now it is going to take him a little bit to get over towards here. It looks like there is another fight going on. So avoid that army. And our other ally, yeah, okay, it's going to take you a little bit longer to reach us. I think we'd still be safe to start striking out down here. Let's go for this barony. Oh, and a map. Well, okay. Giselle, I'm sorry, this is not going to go so well for you. Yeah, she's been drawing a map for an unknown noblewoman. I see. Let's see if we can jog your memory here. We lose some stress in the process? Oh dear. Dario? You're trying to murder Sir? We can't have that. We can't have that. No siree. Oh, and there's a very good chance it's going to succeed as well. Now, I don't know if we can ask you to not do that, but I'd really like you to not do that. We can actually ask you to convert, or I suppose we could try. There's only an 8% chance of success, so no, I guess that's not going to happen, is it? Well, you are very useful. You're a heck of a Chamberlain. We don't want to lose you. But also, frustratingly enough, we can't just say, hey, we know that you're scheming to do this thing. Can you stop doing that? So it's likely it will succeed. But then again, because we know about it, if it does succeed, then it's not going to look good for her. So I would hope that she decides that she doesn't want to harm him. Yeah. That'd be ideal. Anyway, we've started our siege up here. 7 months left. That's enough time, I hope, for our allies to be able to get across towards us. And oh, there you are. You're all the way over there. So we might just be able to go right for the war goal, actually. Where are you going, I wonder? You going to meet up with the other allies, possibly? I'm not 100%. Well, you're doing your thing. We'll capture this territory and then we'll look at moving on. And a scheme at court. My scourge has come to me with a discovery. She's certain that my vassal Baron Anthony is scheming against Sir. Well, that is unfortunate. You haven't been quite a useful Baron, have you? And you're going to live for a long time. You're the child of our ghoul. Let the traitor be known to all. Throw him in jail. We're not going to let him go free here. No. We have fair reason to do this. You will remain in there for now. And it looks like we're going to have to get ready to defend here. Oh, you're just sieging. Okay, well, we'll finish the siege up here first, and then we'll come and try and take care of you. As to what our allies are up to, I have no idea currently. But we might not even need them. Okay, now they're heading out. Just as we're about to take down our foe. And yeah, Missy's very much got this under control. Immediate victory? Well, because it was a good battle. Indeed it was. We didn't take any prisoners, but we can enforce our demands. Our glory hounds will be very, very happy about this. There we go. It is done. Oh, and I didn't change the goal. Well, okay. I am still totally happy with that. Even if it wasn't the 2 provinces that I was actually looking at getting. Well then, what are we going to do with these 2 provinces? Well, we are going to be giving them away, most certainly. And they shall be going to our childer, Shajar. Although, will we not have the Rock Lord anymore? You would leave our court. Maybe you could stay here for now. If we were to give this to someone else, well, no, it really does recommend her. Obviously, Pecs is a really good choice as well. However, if Pecs leaves, we're going to lose him as our physician, which isn't the end of the world. And he has been serving for a long time, loyally. I think we do need to reward him for that service. So Pecs, congratulations. Those 2 provinces shall now belong to you. Treat them well. Oh, hang on. Actually, before we do that, would we lose Dario then? We would, as our Chamberlain. See, there's all these knock-on effects here. We could give 1 territory to Dario and 1 to Pecs. I think they could still work out. Yeah, there we go. That shall be yours, Pecs. And Dario, here we go. That shall be yours. And now we can get you back into that position. I'm not so worried about our powerful vassals. At least I should say I'm not as worried about them as I should be. Yeah, we've only got the 1 that isn't actually on the council at the moment. Yeah, sorry. We won't be able to do much for you, y'all. Oh, what's this? Activity available. Grand tour. Host a magnificent tour and pay a visit to your vassals and their lands. Each stop will have a 2-month duration. I see. Oh, we can also create the Duchy of Calabria. That would give us a lot of prestige, but it's a fair bit of gold for us to create that title. I'm tempted to do it down the line, just not right now, and oh boy, that's quite the cost. We won't be doing that just yet. Oh, Amram died? Well, that's unfortunate. Okay, we've lost one of our herd. I think we're actually going to have to try and hunt in our capital here, looking for warriors yet again, because I want to try and see if we can get some more choleric blood going. Wait, what is this? Pecs, how could you? He knows. Pecs knows. I know you have devoured a soul. If you wish for my silence, you will do as I say. Well, we can't let that get out. Pecs, how could you do this? Especially when you were like, you really like us. Why would you do this? We literally just made you a freaking count. Brother, what have you done? Well, let's see. We could try and mesmerize him. I don't think that's going to help. It does give us a hook. It's going to take too long, 11 months. We need to decide right now, and there ain't much that we can do here. Okay, he's going to get a strong hook on us. That's not the worst thing in the world. He may just try and use it to try and secure his position on the council, which I'm fine. I'm fine with keeping him in that position. We'll see what he makes of that, though. Hey, there we go. Choleric. It's taken us so long to get here. So we do actually have two different disciplines that we can look into: celerity and potence. Lethal body is always great. It increases our chance to wound enemy characters during battle. Soaring leap gives us more of an advantage in combat. Rapid reflexes just make us that much harder to murder and abduct. And it's the same deal with Cat's Grace. We do seem to be going into battle more often than not. So lethal body, I think in this instance, is going to be what we're actually looking for. I would really like to get soaring leap as well. Just in general, going down the potence tree, I think is what we're going to want to do before we do celerity. But there's some very good stuff down here as well. Scheme at court. My scourge has come to me with some grave news. While we do not know yet, someone is plotting to kill me. My gosh, won't you all stop with these murder plots? And it's a very small chance of it actually succeeding. Unfortunately, this one here still seems like it's going to go ahead though. Lines about legacy. The latest work of my acquaintance, Count Bucephos, has become all the rage at court as of late. The piece deals with memory and what we leave behind. Bucephos has publicly dedicated it to me. Time of legacy. Women need not fear as lives depart. Though it may tear their grievers apart, 'tis rare enough for a woman to admit that their deeds leave those left after split. So far, I've kept my thoughts to myself, but the buzz has grown too dramatic for me to ignore much longer. You're a child of Montano, are you not? Actually, no, you're a brother of Montano. Yes, sibling. Well then, okay, you're also rather powerful. You're his chamberlain. Well, you wouldn't really be talking well of us, right? I can see this is truly heartfelt. We gained some piety and some opinion. Sure, why not? The poem is lauded, and you actually weirdly admire us in some sense. And here we are, on the hunt. We got a lot of mortals that we can look at. Now, you're a bleeder. Maybe that's a good thing. Ambitious? You could be choleric. Ambitious and brave. Now, that's a good combination, Milo. I think we're going to go for Milo. I will hunt Milo and drink his blood. We'll not see the other mortals again. We're taking a chance here. Let's see how that goes. What's it going to be? Melancholic, and it's negligible. That is unfortunate. We'll take a drink and we'll leave you weakened. We're not going to hurtify you. Damn. And Pecs has done... Oh, well, he's done stuff here. He's just finished converting faith, but he's looking for his contract to be a little bit more lenient. So he's using the blackmail that he has against us. He doesn't want to contribute any levies at this stage. You know what? Sure, I'm okay with that. The levies don't make too much of a difference anyway, Pecs. You do what you need to do. I know I was just dissing levies. We are going to have a look at our men-at-arms and just improving them a little bit further. The light horsemen that we've got, we are going to spend some coin getting some more of them. The same with the archers that are down here as well. Oh no, our courtier and our champion has died under mysterious circumstances. Well, we know what happened, but we weren't able to prevent it from happening. May you rest in your final death. Bearing the hatchet. Akos, finally you've come to your senses. You also wish to start anew. Let's stop being rivals. That's great. Okay, wow, things are starting to look up, Missy. Oh, training a warhorse. As I inspect the stables, my gaze is drawn to a mare kept away from all others. She throws her heads and stomps her hooves, displaying her powerful hindquarters and well-arched neck. This creature has the best conformations and the worst of tempers. I've never seen such a warhorse before, but the stable master insists that she is impossible to train. I am not one to back away from a challenge. Yeah, let's go for it. Try and gain a perk here. The horse pins her ears back as I approach. Her disregard for me is crystal clear. This first meeting is important to earn her trust and respect, and I need to decide how to go about it. A steady hand, high prowess. I mean, yes, we're gonna go for the steady hand route. It is a mighty feeling. The powerful horse follows my every whim. Now that I've earned her trust, she seems fond of me. We will keep her as our personal warhorse, and we also get a martial lifestyle perk at the same time. What are we going to name you though? A name inspired by history or by mythology? Let's go for mythology. And, Boreas, the ancient Greek god of the north wind. A good fit, I would think. And now, what do we want to try and pick up? Courtship could increase our chances to elope and whatnot. Effectively, if we can get down towards Peacemaker, that's generally pretty good, and Gallant is also a really decent trait. But in saying that, Serve the Crown and Bellum Justum would be really good right now as well. Just having more dread in general, I feel like for a kindred is a good idea, but the wars that we're fighting, they're going to start to get really expensive. And in general, we can just get some good perks down here. Bellum Justum, you're our next pick. Oh, and a ransom. 30 gold to release you from prison. Yeah, sure. Behave yourself, or it'll happen again. An unworthy challenge. At first I thought the simple footman a fool for stepping onto the training field. Although Garcinda seemed no threat at first, it quickly became clear that she would be unable to stop her wild and vicious strikes from hurting me. Disarming her suddenly became a matter of life and death. I don't think it is, although in saying that, 17 prowess. You're not bad. You could make a fantastic ghoul. How interesting. I could use more people like you. Yeah, we're gonna get some stress here for sure, but not bloody bad. Let's see then, if we were to try and ghoulify you. A 72% chance of success. Let's look at making that happen. Lessons from the past. Though I will surely see many battlefields before I meet my maker, my library holds tales of wars from hundreds of lifetimes. I have recently acquired a tome on the Great Battle of the Catalonian Plains, as well as a time-worn scroll written in some ancient language. Who knows what forgotten secrets it holds? Read the newer tome or try to translate the old one. Ooh, that's very tempting. I mean, yeah, the stress is bad. We gain 1 martial, 1 learning, and a commander bonus. Although I guess that's only for 20 years. 20 years is still a long time, but yeah, let's just stick to the tried and true method for now. And finally, Akos has finished increasing control. So let's go for Reggio next. And it's clear who is trying to kill us now. Count Antonio was plotting to kill us. That vile fiend. Oh, and you abandoned it, did you? You're 8th generation. Okay, and where are you right now? You're all the way up here, the county of Ferrara. You've done some fleeing recently, haven't you? Now, if we were to try and abduct you, there's only a 5% chance of it actually succeeding. But gosh, that would be tempting, wouldn't it? What about a fight then, to settle things? How about that? Oh yes. And as this is the second fight that we've had this episode, we're going to be speeding through this here. Blood shall flow. A knife to the hand? Obey me. That sounds good. And that'll do it. Missy is victorious. Excellent. And we lose some stress. He gains some stress. A good victory. Yes. Oh, and we can get a new melancholy perk. Let's see what we have here. Fortitude, resilience, and unswayable mind. Makes us less likely to be swayed. Resilience, though, makes us harder to kill, and it gives us more prowess, so that's the way we're going to be going. And it seems that Gulam is fond of our horse here, and he wants to take it for a ride. No, this horse is ours and ours alone. Sorry, child. Yes, I'm glad we did get a little bit of extra prestige here, because Garcinda, you are going to be our ghoul. We are going to get hungrier in this process, but my gosh, 21 prowess. What a ghoul you are. Fantastic. And we could attempt to hurtify you. I don't know what blood type you have, but you're brave and wrathful. Surely it's got to be good. And while that's happening, let's see about maybe trying to find a spouse for you. High prowess would not go amiss. And I suppose if we're thinking long-term here, it would be better for us to look for traits that are going to be beneficial. Nicholas, you aren't so old yourself. We're not going to be turning you into a ghoul here, so we want to make sure that you're not going to be too old. But this will be a matrilineal marriage. All the children that are born, the revenants, will be born under Garcenda's family name. Oh, and would you look at that? We are actually a little hungry after that, so we should probably have a look at having a bite to eat. Oh dear. Well, shadows have found us yet again, but this time they're coming from Montano, no less. We don't have a good chance here. 47%. We've been lucky so far. If this fails, the county of Malta will get drained of life for 5 years. It's the only option that we've got. It's going to be stressful, and it didn't work. Well then, I really think we need to start to try and settle this little disagreement that we've got. Pecs, I would very much like you to start fabricating a claim down here in Syracuse. We are not ready to go to war against the Lord of Shadows yet, but we need to start to plan for that. And an alliance. Los Sombra's guardian. Intriguing. Lord Montano's sheriff. You're trying to seek an alliance with us. Perhaps she's aware of what we might be trying to go for here, but if we go for this war, this alliance, that won't help us. Or maybe we can get it to help. I don't think she'll be able to attack her liege. I think we'll say yes for now though. We will accept it, but that alliance will be broken should she choose not to fight alongside us. Having his sheriff as an ally though, that is interesting. Oh, this is her territory up here, I see. Well, understandable that you might want to become an ally. She does have 8 champions of her own. And I suppose if we were to go to war against another enemy, you could also assist us. And, well, you're not looking very strong right now. But do we really want to stretch out this far? I am very tempted to try and tackle Rome, but they're strong. They're very strong. Let's just bide our time for now. And our mare is sick. Let's keep that warhorse. Excellent. Growing the herd. All right, what do we got? Sanguine, and it's negligible. Okay, so we're probably not going to keep you in our herd, but I suppose until we find someone else, we'll be feeding on you. Interesting. So I've just gone back to have a look at Bishop Alfonso here. We can attempt to mesmerize him. There's a 74% chance this would succeed, and if we do, we'll get a hook on him. And we may be able to use that hook to work some magic on Montano. And just like that, we have a new phlegmatic perk that we can unlock. Very good timing. Forgetful Mind. We unlock a better character interaction to cover up the masquerade. It can also allow a character interaction that can lead to an opinion boost with a target. Additionally, you can change a single personality trait of your herd and ghouls and lock memories of your secrets in your opponents. We could make Pecs forget. Perhaps. Also, Submerged Directive. You have better odds at recruiting agents for your murder schemes. Your Dominate hooks also last longer, allowing you to issue commands at a later date. Well, we're not looking to murder so much. Perhaps Forgetful Mind would be better for us to grab right now. And let's see, Pecs. Forgetful Mind opinions. We'd have to win a stewardship duel versus Pecs, and his grievances would be lessened. I mean, we're looking okay right now. So we'll leave it at that for the moment, but that will help us going forwards in the future. Oh, and we can create the Duchy of Calabria. I think it's going to be worth the prestige right now. Yes, it is a fair bit of gold, but yeah, let's make it. And there we are. We are now the Duchess of 2 different regions. The power grows. Okay, and now we can nominate a successor to the Sea of Shadows. Well, of course, we're going to nominate ourselves. We're 4th in line here. There are many that are in line. I'm intrigued who's first, though. Malai. I see, the core mentor of Lord Montano. You're one of his childer, I see. Our control is increasing across the board. Akos, you're doing a great job. And our mayor. Let's go for some fierceness. The warhorses always cost a fair bit of gold, but I feel like they're worth the effects that we get from them. Extra prowess, prestige, it's good. Angie took to her training. Well, okay, we now have a fierce warhorse, which gives us an extra 2 advantage. Money well spent indeed. Oh, it looks like we have yet another Inquisition cell that wants to fight. Sure, let's go for it. Oh, and it's right where we want to rally our troops. We're going to have to swap that over to here. That won't take us too long. With only 100 troops, I'm worried about you. Missy, let's get marching. They're trying to take to the sea. I'll be intrigued to see if they can make it. Dominating. Alfonso of Venice. My will commands Bishop Alfonso, but he is resisting me. You will need to overcome their will if you wish to proceed. Strong-willed individuals are harder to break, and this intense focus of your mind powers will result in a stressful experience for yourself as well. Rouse the blood to dominate him. Willpower may be used, resulting in stress gain. Yeah, how much stress though? It gives us a 57% chance as opposed to a 46% chance. We're gonna try. I think we're gonna go for this option. Whoa, it does push us. He resists our domination. Well, that is truly unfortunate. Overwhelmed by stress, let's go for a run. Oh, and I suppose slaughtering these Inquisition soldiers, that'll also help. We shall enforce those demands, and there we have a new prisoner. And how is your blood looking? I think we might be able to consume you. Let's see, exsanguination, what would we get from you? Nothing. Interesting. Well, I suppose we'll just go with the old burning route then. Look at that stress, it's already looking better. Well, I suppose we're just gonna have to look at the fabrication route to defeat our enemy here. Domination is difficult. What I was really hoping to do here was to look at diablerizing him. We do potentially have one agent in this, but I do wonder if we could potentially sway others. Oh, would you look at that? Our rival just lost territory. He's unlanded now. How unfortunate for you. I do wonder if you would, come to our court. We could host you as an honored guest. Yeah, let's try and do that. Let's send out the invitation to our rival. Yep, I think, did you not? He hasn't responded yet. Oh, would you look at that? We can go to war with you again. Oh, and maybe we'll hold off on that. We've got bailiffs, that's cool, but Pecs, well done. He's got us the documents that we need. Let's press that claim, and we're just gonna have to wait until our gold kind of builds back up again. It looks like there's already a bit of a war going on within the Sea of Shadows. Nothing that you're directly fighting right now. And oh boy, you do have quite an ally on your side, don't you? But when we do go to war, we can see that our numbers are similar. We would need all of our allies on our side. Oh boy. Oh, and hey, we've had a bird sighting. Thank you very much, Eleanor. 3 years, eh? Okay. Ideal for practicing falconry. Well, we haven't really been doing that, but we'll keep it in mind. But yes, the other bit of territory that I was having a look at over here was the rest of Capua, which is right on the other side of the Sea of Shadows. I feel like getting that under our control would be much better for us. And I don't think we're gonna have to call in any allies here. I think we should be able to win it off of our own backs. With over 2,000 troops, Missy is gonna get a marching. Oh, and we have a defeated army making its way back down here, so it seems like they were already at war. Well, that sucks for you, doesn't it? Let's go and take them out. And we've got another martial perk we can pick up first, which right now I think is honestly going to be Serve the Crown. We are splitting ourselves across these categories a little bit here, but the natural dread and the control growth will help us just because our territory is getting that much larger. They're trying to run, they failed, and we are absolutely slaughtering them. It looks like they've got bears and rats on their side there, and we managed to capture an enemy combatant. We'll hold on to you for the moment. And it looks like we might have to try and siege down this territory that they've taken here, because if we don't, we're gonna lose troops trying to move into their own territory. Although in saying that, yeah, there is another army here. So I feel like we need to try and finish this other war that's going on. And it does look like we're gonna be able to win it. Let's see, hang on, they're running. We'll let them run. We'll just hold here for a moment, and then we'll look at taking this territory here instead. We don't need that much more to be able to win this thing. And we've nearly got it under control. There we go, and that's 100%. That's all we need to finish this war. So, let's look at finishing it. We may have another war ongoing though, so be it. And no, the other war is invalidated. That's now all of our territory. Wonderful. Gosh, we can construct a university here in Napoli. Unlikely, and it's also territory that we're not going to be holding on to ourselves. This territory here, I think, is going to go to our childer. They've both got really high development, so I think she's going to do a great job with them. We are going to miss the old Rock Lord, though. I think we may still be able to keep him as a personal champion, but yeah, you have earned these territories here. Enjoy them. And she is now our vassal. And, oh, no longer our personal champion, no longer our seneschal. That is unfortunate. But that's bringing us ever so closer to Rome now. And it does look like we could, if we wanted to, ransom our prisoner here. We do have a little bit of stress though, don't we? What if we were to do something like exsanguinate you? You're choleric. It's a negligible amount though. And plus, we'll be losing a lot of prestige if we do it. It's a way for us to kind of find out what she has though, with just a little bit of a taste. 35 stress for a beheading. You know what? I think we will let you go. We shall ransom you. There. And it looks like we can create yet another duchy, but it's going to cost a fair amount to be able to do that. Oh, interesting. In our baroness here that we've recently acquired, it looks like we can imprison you. 12th generation is unfortunate. If they were a higher generation, we would be able to potentially secretly diabolarize them, and then we'd be real happy. Baron Pierre here is 10th generation. I wouldn't mind trying to mesmerize him if possible. If we can get a hook on him, we may be able to make use of that. As for our other Baron down here, we'll imprison her if we need to. We're not going to worry about that right now though. We'll just kind of let that hang over our head. Oh, hello? Rocklord. To my surprise, Count Rocklord came to the joust meet for young champions in Malta. While the meet was necessary, I had a far better time sitting inside discussing my plans for the next coming tax season with Rocklord. What use is an army after all without the means to feed it, as he pointed out. Well, thank you for the visit, Rocklord. I've also been having a think about the different titles that we have, and I do believe that Missy would vote for her brother before any else. So the two different duchy titles that we have at the moment, he is set to be our heir. Right now, everyone is super happy with Missy. The council is ecstatic. And it seems like even though we just made him our main heir, Pecs is still pushing things. Yes, you have been a good vassal. His feudal contract gains inner circle seat, which guarantees his position on the council. I'm fine with that, buddy. We want you to be on the council. Oh, and something that I haven't had a look at in a while is our coterie. We probably want to go and try and add our childer into our coterie. Let's invite Gilam, which he's happy to join, and Shahajar. And we can fit one more member in here, so we're just going to leave that open for the time being. And look at that, we are damn close to learning presence. There we are. Okay, I have roused my blood and prepared myself to the best of my ability, but the finer points of presence still elude me. If I want to master this discipline all the way, I will need a teacher. Luckily, my scouts have told me where such a person can be found. The county of Enna. Travel with the brood of Bavent. Excellent, we can go with all of them. I like the idea of doing that. The county of Enna, huh? Oh, you're the one that wrote the poem on us. Let's get started right away. Yeah, okay, I see. Well then, is there anywhere else that we want to try and go? We could go all the way to Rome. That's quite a bit of a trip. Perhaps on the way back we could go to Rome? No, that's a heck of a journey. I think we'd have to go to here first and then go by sea. There we go. That looks a little bit better. We go to Palermo and then from there to Rome, and from Rome back to home. Doesn't cost us much to travel though, because there's only just a few of us going. Superior armaments and some experienced captains. I think this is going to be pretty safe. 6 months of travel though, it's a bit of a journey, but it shall be worth it. Our quest for knowledge. It is finally time for the brood of Bavent to set out on this journey. Excellent. Let's broaden our horizons. And yeah, it doesn't take us long to actually get to Enna. Here we go. Okay, and you're the one that's going to be teaching us presence? Yeah, okay, you've got presence advanced. Okay, yeah, he is the ruler of the local domain, the dutiful sire. Well, so we're ready to learn. You'll proceed with learning this ability because you're traveling together with other members of the brood of Bavent. They will also learn this ability if they're eligible. That's so good. I'm happy for them. I mean, Missy had to use a lot of prestige to make this happen. Good for them though. Malignant hearsay. Presence is an intoxicating power to learn. Who wouldn't like the ability to make everyone love or even outright worship you? Your mentor is speaking words of caution, telling you of the after effects after you lose direct control with the victim. But you couldn't care less. Finally, all your subjects will show you the proper devotion that they should have a long time ago. So, malignant hearsay, what's that going to do for us? Okay, -4 to intrigue. That's rough for 10 years, but what's this? You have now completed your learning of the presence discipline, which includes being more mindful of its drawbacks. While the ability to be respected and loved is certainly powerful, it doesn't last for long after you lose control with the victim, which ends up leaving a very annoyed person behind. Nobody likes their feelings being toyed with by supernatural powers. The last few nights, you have used your new powers perhaps a little too frequently and earned some new enemies in the process. It might be time to make amends for your learning enthusiasm overreaching into other people's minds. I just wanted you to like me. We lose malignant hearsay and we gain some stress. We gain presence, or they will get over it. That's -4 intrigue for 10 years. I think we'll take the stress for now. Yeah, and we've gained presence. Wonderful. Rare trinkets. The sea around here is thick with Catalan traders, going about the usual craft, carrying rare and exotic goods from one port to another. One such merchant holds an item that immediately takes my interest the moment I lay my eyes upon the Maritime Trading Handbook. Interesting, naval speed, and monthly steward lifestyle experience. I know I could never find anything like it, and it simply must be mine. Alright, we could pay for it, we could steal it. High chance we get wounded and lose a lot of prestige, but we lose some stress because we're sadistic. You know what? Let's go for it. I know it's a lot of prestige to lose. We get it anyway. We successfully stole it. Missy, well bloody done. Okay, let's just take a second here to have a look at that because we should be able to equip it. Wonderful. Oh, and let's look at repairing this hair foot. Or not. It's probably not worth it. Rome. We've arrived at Rome. At a distance, the city of Roma is a forest of towers and a maze of stone buildings. As we approach, the scenery shifts. Ruins of monuments, walls, and ancient churches coexist with farms and grazing animals. Pilgrims seem to be everywhere, bartering, conversing, and queuing to shrines and tombs of the city's saints. Mansions of forgotten aristocrats now serve as hostels for the faithful. I will find something to bring home, an artifact that could be quite interesting, a great opportunity for some learned conversation. Could gain some more diplomacy, or humiliate ourselves, or not waste any time. Honestly, I think we'll try and bring something home with us if possible. And we did find a treatise. Okay, alright, it's not the best artifact in the world, but we've got space to equip another, so we shall. And we're already back on our way home. Oh, dominating our Baron, yes. We'd have to rouse the blood, but there's a 70% chance we succeed. If we get stress, willpower may be used, resulting in stress. May be used. I think we'll go for the 70%. He resisted. Oh gosh, damn it. Well, it was worth a chance. Look at that though. We've made it back in one piece. Excellent. And now that we're back, we're finally going to have a look at those presence abilities. So we're going to have to pick these two right off the bat. Daunt, fantastic. Instead of attracting people, the vampire uses presence to repel. So this increases our dread gain just in general. Very good. Dread gaze we could pick up next. Briefly exposing their vampiric nature, the user instills a single subject with terror. Gives us more prowess, gives us more dread gain. We could also go for awe, which increases our direct vassal opinion and also our personal scheme power. In general, I think getting our prowess up more and more is going to be better. The lingering kiss seems to be quite good. It allows us to add victims straight to our herd when we're hunting them. But for now, we will be picking up Dread Gaze. Eventually, we will have to work our way down here. Oh yes, we do have one more perk, so we will be picking up Awe. There we are. So, all of that power we're accumulating has certainly helped us out there. And now Missy has nearly cracked 40 prowess. She is growing in power. I don't think she's quite ready to take on Montano in single combat, but look at that. We even have an opportunity to just go out for a ride, lose some stress. That sounds pretty good. And now, well, Now we're on the dawn of war. We have claims, rightful claims to this land, as does Countess Dario, the county of Camadra. And of course, we have a claim on Syracuse. What a battle this would be. Oh, I'm sorry, we just got a claim on Benvenuto. It is also within the Sea of Shadows. Well then, that's a border dispute that we'll try and get to down the line. Oh, and the Rock Lord. Ah, I see. Husband of Shah is staying close to Missy. A distraction, but nothing more. I will keep him close, very close. That's nice to have someone to blow steam off with. And Verpus is very, very far away. But Missy does think very highly of her child. I don't think that she could betray her. So, sweet, but no. And I just noticed, Valentina Bavent, a new child in the line. And really, the choices that they make for the people that they embrace, what can I say? A fine choice, sure. And look, I know it might be foolish. I think we're going to challenge Montano to a fight. Non-lethal, the victor loses stress, the loser gains stress. It's going to cost us prestige to do this fight, and he might accept. He might say no. But I think Missy wants to know, and oh boy, yeah. For a few brief moments, Lord Montano and I pace in lazy half circles, each watching for an opening. With a sudden twitch, our bout begins. Now, we shall begin with a blood surge, and then go all out. With a powerful bite from my fangs, I send Montano reeling backwards, then step into the blow and kick him straight in the chest. Montano suddenly shifts direction, throwing himself sideways into a powerful cleave that I'm barely able to dodge. This is tough. Fighting someone so skilled means I've got nothing to lose. This is a Hail Mary. There's a very high chance of success, but also a high chance of injury. Whirling, I gnash my fangs wildly, rushing straight at Montano. If I am to die, I'll make it a hard fight. And Montano is driven back by my desperate enthusiasm. My opponent's flesh turns to supernatural marble, impervious to any damage. Well, that's quite the trick. So, a dagger in hand? I think we've got to try. And it's not enough. It is not enough. Marble skin? That's quite a trick. It was worth the try, Missy. Indeed it was. You rule the day you defeated Duchess Melissa. We lost a lot of stress from that. Oh, and we gained some as well. But we know how dangerous that enemy is. So we'll have to be ready. And Legionnaires, as much as I wish to start that war against Montano, we have unfortunately run out of time for today. But in the next, the horns shall blow, kindred shall march in the night, and the Lord of Shadows shall know this caitiff's wrath. At the start of today, Missy had her own council plotting against her. Akos, breaker of wolves, her rival, and a rival no more, and even her childer, Gilam, now admires her rule. And, well, looking at Pecs here, looks like he's been fighting some battles of his own. Our territory is certainly looking healthy. Yet while we have been plotting and planning, other kindred have been expanding their territory, claiming more of the night for themselves. We have the ruler of the African court just to our west, and to our south, the followers of Set Grow, a powerful sect that, as of yet, have not turned their attention our way, but no doubt they will want that coastline for themselves in time. Missy must secure her hold on power here, if she's not to be swept away in the night. But having started on such a small island, with only a modicum of influence, she's proven to those ancient old ones that she is a rival truly worthy of fear. And now, decked out in her new regalia, Melissa Bavent is ready for that fight. Legionnaires, I'd like to thank you for joining me for yet another night. And if you enjoyed this one, please consider leaving a comment or a like to let me know if you enjoyed the show. As for now, I have been Rycon. You have all been awesome. And until next time, stay tuned.